to the we talked about Jamaica. Let's just go to their matchup: Jamaica versus USA. It was a matchup. First one was a lot closer. I think there was opportunities to get something out of that game, but it ends overall 5-2. Pepe in the 5th minute.
5-2.
Yes, yeah. In the 5th minute in the first game at the National Stadium, or the Office, as it's affectionately known by Reggae Boys and girls supporters across the world. And then in St. Louis, it was just it was an Oprah show. Who wants a goal? Pulisic wants a goal? Cool. Pulisic wants another one? Nope, it's a deflection. Pepe, you want one? Cool. Where you want one? And then it just ended there. Gray with 2 goals, 5-2. The US, to me, though they weren't ranked number 1 in their window, I think they had the best window out of the teams that are in the semis. I think if you look at, especially, I think it's definitely pushed up by that second game where they're playing at home, and then you're starting to see them moving. Now, maybe that's a bit about how good they are playing, but also a combination of the team that was on the other side, because you could argue that team was on the pitch, and then until other players decided to do things, you can ask them. But US gets it done on the road for the first time, it feels like forever, and then get it done at home. I don't think they've reached their final form clearly. This is their second window with their coach. And so I think it'll be interesting to see. They're the same thing as Canada, get healthy. They didn't have Balogun there. They didn't have any of their proper 6s, really. Johnny got hurt. Tyler Adams wasn't available. Weston had some good moments, but then also had Weston moments as well. But I think let's start off with the US, and then we'll talk about Jamaica at the end. What did you like about what you saw from the US in this fixtures here?
As what I've said early on, United States, they started off in Jamaica. They were dominant in Jamaica for the first, I would say, the entire 20 minutes, because even the penalty was off of a break. So the injury really damaged them with Johnny Cardozo, because it looks like they had that plan. They never expected, and they brought in Tillman, and he never really fitted in the 6 or the 10 position. And they really, and maybe you could say credit to Jamaica as well, based on how they tried to jump on that little error right there. I don't know if that's the case, but we can just say all of those things. We can put all of those things in the context to say maybe something like that happened. When Cardozo left, everything kind of went to shambles there. The first 10 minutes of the game, it could have been over. It could have been around 3-0 without no effort from Jamaica. So I thought that Jamaica started a very poor lack desire. They did not, I don't know if they were starstruck because the crowd was very loud. So maybe they're surprised that they got so much people out there. So maybe I'm just giving them an excuse, but they were very starstruck for the first 10 minutes, and it could have been 3-0 down. First one scored Pepe. Second one, it was Robinson one-on-one with Blake. Pretty much had the advantage, but obviously he's a fullback, so his finishing might not be the first thing you look at when you're talking about a fullback right there. So he puts it on Blake, and Blake saves it. Pulisic got one, dropped off deeper on the 18-yard and put it over the top right there. And then obviously Jamaica came back in the game. Overall, I thought that Jamaica struggled with their system that they had. They never brought in so much of the inverted in the first half. They tried to just push fullback straight up rather than inverted in that one. But Jamaica still struggled with it. But based on them struggling with fitting their own system, they had some problems right there. What I saw Jamaica did well was the 3 at the back system. It looks like it forced the United States to whip in the crosses, and they dealt with that well. So it forced them to come in to try and create. So Pulisic had to try and do more, and he was getting kicked the entire day. So it was a tough struggle. This is the first game I'm explaining, people. Yeah. All right. So I like that. That's what kept it a little bit open, and the pitch was bad. The pitch was bad, and I think it was very clear when it touched the second pitch. Both teams look better. So the pitch with and the confusion and a poor start from Jamaica really helped United States. But United States injury really cost them again in the flip on after 20 minutes. Second game, I thought that it was pretty much one team on the pitch. United States did whatever they wanted with Jamaica. It was not even a game. I heard people trying on my other videos saying that I don't have any sense. Jamaica is just a few piece. No, not a few piece. They said every player on Jamaica's team is comparable with USA players, and that's just not true. Nothing of that statement is true. I honestly don't think Jamaica was on the same level as them on both legs. The pitch had a lot to do with what saves us in the first game, because they would have done the same thing in the second game, in the first game, but they couldn't initiate their speed transition so fast. They have to try and get at least accurate passes rather than just play it and they know that it's going to be accurate. That is a second off reaction timing. It makes the game go slower. It was miles faster in United States, miles faster, and they were pinging it around easily. The goals that Jamaica scored came off some errors from United States, but if you look at the overall openings, it's a terrible amount of chances United States could have scored in this game. It could have ended 8-9-1, 9-2. It was that bad. It was that bad. The inverted one, where the problem started was the inverted of Robinson. It forced Leon Bailey to either come in or try to attack. And you know what Leon Bailey will choose. You understand me? But he never had the ball. And no one told Leon Bailey that if you don't have the ball, you cannot attack. You understand me? So Robinson had the ball and he was the one overlapping and also attacking and closing all the spaces. So they can't get it over the top and they can't get it through the space there to Leon Bailey. So they got suffocated. And when Leon Bailey do have the ball, Africans, I hope you watch the game 3 times. But he was playing for United States. He gave it back to United States. He assisted 2 of United States' first goals. I know people will complain and say it's a stretch. Other things happen in the transition. That is true, but it was attacking phases for Jamaica, and it turns into United States final pass. It was some poor chemical errors from Jamaica. Failed to close down their systems. Their system of United States, our systems. They failed to close down all of them. All right, and after the game was done. No one on planet Earth expected Jamaica to come back in the game, including the coach after listening to his press conference. So they just tried to play for pride. That's what Damara Gray said, and I believe him. They just tried to play for pride. I don't think they were coming back. And if they were going to come back, United States will turn up their pressure again and score a few more goals just to see him. I just believe that they never had the interest after that. They expected better from Jamaica. That's what I believe. They expected better from Jamaica, and they never got it, you know? Yeah. So they felt disappointed. You know, sometimes you want to keep the opponent in the game to sell the product. I thought that they were selling a product. Yes. I actually thought they were selling a product. I have to be honest to myself. I thought they were selling a product, you know? But second half, credit to Jamaica. They came out, had some ambition and not disrespected, you know, not letting down the hype of the country and get a few goals back, and it kind of helped the talking points to say you can believe in Jamaica. But I heard even the most biased Jamaican fans saying that this was no competition. And Africans, I can't lie to you, it was no competition. It was 2 different quality teams on the pitch in the second leg.
It definitely the second leg. I don't want to just boil it down to just simplicity here, but would having Pinnock, who would have to leave injured, having Antonio, who, you know, has he found his passport yet, or is
Ghana? Everything
he was in Ghana. The second I saw him in Ghana, I was just like, I don't want to say anything, but I feel like he's not coming. Like the second he got to Ghana, I was like, he's gonna go to Ghana for a few days and fly over to listen. Direct flight back to England is here. I didn't want to say anything, but the second I saw, he's in Ghana, check it out. I'm like, in my head, I was like, I even thought about messaging you. I was like, I don't think he's coming, but I'll wait. I'll wait and see. And
Yes,
then
yes.
turns
Well,
out he,
yeah.
Ghana streets are whichever streets he lost his passport
And
on.
you can't blame Ghana. You can't blame Ghana. If you don't have your English passport and you don't have a visa to leave, you can't leave. You know, it's just professionalism. So what they said, it was his English passport was lost. So that's the problem. In order for you to leave there, you have to get a visa from there to go to America. To process that visa for a Jamaican, it's going to take appointments and a million years. But if it was for an English passport, just like my Belgian passport, I would have just made a transit visa pretty much, and it done in on the way pretty much. You understand me? So that's a big difference. So he couldn't get the job done because he had his Jamaican passport, but he couldn't move. So he had to get an emergency passport to go back to England because he couldn't move to America on the emergency passport. He has to just go back to his parent country. So he had the Jamaican passport, but his British passport was lost. So that's what I've gotten from his statement. And it's tough. It's tough. I'm sad that Ghana, with so much bad press over the couple of days, a passport issue led to it as well.
Hey, we don't have issues with passports, okay? We have issues with passing, but never passports.
Jamaica, United States. Let me stay in Jamaica, United States.
Passing, not passports. Look, side note, the amount of Ghana video essays, the amount of Ghana video essays I've seen have been terrible. But no, I do. But back to the point.
Yes,
they don't have Antonio. They don't.
All right, so continue.
Oh, people are gonna see a side of me. No, okay. So let's talk honestly. So they don't have Bobby Reed. They don't have Pinnock. They don't have Antonio. That's to a degree a spine down your middle. Does it? I don't want to humor it this way because I think there are bigger issues. I think your coaching is not the right coaching for the bodies that you have. If you're going to just play defensively with a bunch of attacking players, that's like asking Nigeria to play like defensive with 3 strikers. They want to be strikers. So the question is it as simple as just saying we were just missing those 3 players and we could have come back? Or do you I almost want to ask you, where do they go from here? Because I mean, they have a good prelim conversation with their team to qualify for the Gold Cup, which if they treat it properly, they should be at the Gold Cup. But if you're looking at them, I don't want to just start sounding the horn saying it's coaching, but I mean, we watched them against Honduras. Was it Honduras or was it El Salvador?
Honduras.
It was Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah, it was Honduras. Yes. And they were playing defensive, low transition football to me with players, which I would say, why? And so to me, that was my first. That was my first thought of, okay, I don't know if this coach is the right coach for this system, or he doesn't have the players for his system. But then you listen to some of his comments, you're saying, well, I don't have, these aren't my players, he says in as many words or less, because other people pick them. So then what do they do from here? Is it as just simple as
let me put up my calculator, because we're talking about Jamaica here. Nothing seems to be the same. So coaching, you could say, is a problem. Selection, you could say, is a problem. Players' quality after selection, you could say, is a problem. You understand me? But definitely start where you started. Antonio, Bobby Reed, and Ethan Pinnock might be the 3 best players in all positions for Jamaica. In midfield third, Bobby Reed, defensive third, Ethan Pinnock, and attacking third, Mikel Antonio. So if I would say that wouldn't have changed anything, would have been an astronomical lie. It could have changed something, but at the same time, you could have minus the level of coaching in it, because if you're going to play defensive, as what you had said, all of those players, Mikel Antonio becomes a left back and a right back in the system several occasions. So I think it would have helped, but based on what we saw against Honduras, because you have to look at the sample size, I don't think they have gotten it correct as yet, because of a lot of things, the confusion in Jamaica and Jamaica's football setup period. So I think they wouldn't have gotten it correct, and United States would have still won, but maybe it would have looked a little bit closer. We might have scored the same amount of goals, you know, but it would have looked a little bit closer because you wouldn't have Robinson doing an inverted. You wouldn't have Tim Ream, 19,000 years old, on the halfway line. You understand? You wouldn't have those things because Michael Antonio could have occupied Mark McKenzie and Tim Ream because that's what he does. But Shamar Nichols, you don't expect him to do the same level of thing because they're not the same caliber of footballer and not the same tools as well. You know, so and Ethan Pinnock maybe could have stopped a lot of the coverage. He could have talked to Damian Lowe to stop assisting United States. You understand me? Yes. So there's a lot of things could have worked, you know. And maybe Ethan Pinnock being there, Oldgate would have not started in first game. So your red card would have not been there. So you could see a lot of things. Bobby Reed in the midfield, they wouldn't have to go for Maggie in the second leg because obviously they would have learned that Bobby Reed is a higher caliber midfielder than all of these players, you know? Yes, so yeah, but that's my take on it. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing, but United States was a better team. And I will just stop there. United States was a better team. And what if is like the main sentence for Jamaica. What if we do the right thing, Africans? What if we pick the right players? What if the coach put attacking players in attacking positions? What if all of that happened? Oh, the result would have gone. But Jamaica have been doing this thing from 1999. And it's 2024 now. You know? Yes.
See, so what if? I thought I was on one of your streams. You said you almost said the magic year.
So I'm hoping that what if changes though. It is now or never. You know, that's what I wanted to change to. It is now or never.
Agree. Because I think they can't play around with this and get it wrong like this. If they want to make 2026, they need to get the players in now. Wow, I was about to quote someone. I won't quote someone. But they need to get the players in from early. But instead of getting the right players versus the best players, they just need to get the best players in, put them in their best positions, and go and play. That would be my 5 cents on it. But hey, I'm just an African Canadian who's out here talking about Jamaican football. What do I?
And I don't even know what am I at this point because they have revoked my passport so many times. So I don't know what time am I at this point. You know, yes, but
yeah, you have too many passports.
I should be Jamaican.
You think you should be Jamaican, but you're Belgium, you're Haitian, you're Surinamese, you're
Nigerian.
You're Nigerian.
Part-time, Sierra Leone. Part-time, you know, part-time.
Gambia. Part-time Gambia.